Hi. I'm back looking at this app, the RxAngular app, and I've decided the next thing I'm going to do is convert this dark mode toggle component because it is using RxState. But the reason I'm doing this is because I just released a new version of StateAdapt, and I want to just do a couple things with Angular again before I move on to React, because React is next. I'm going to do a few projects with React and see how the API with StateAdapt feels, if it's natural or not. And then I will move on to Svelte and then Solid.js and eventually Quick. But that's going to be really hard. So anyway, for now, let's look at this component. So what do we have? Like I said, it's using RxAngular, RxState specifically. So the component is extending state, and it's just basically managing the light theme. That's basically it. Yeah. I'm not only going to do this component, I'm going to do one other one because this is actually really small and kind of boring. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'm going to go do, I think, auth state or something like that. I was looking at it. Yeah. Account state, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so last time I was working on this app, I did the same thing I'm going to do here. I got rid of the nested state, and I just made this a simple Boolean state. So, yeah, this thing here, this isn't needed. This is going to be really, it's going to be really easy. So set checked false, disable dark mode. This is ngIf, I'm assuming. Oh, I see. You've got a button to the side for each, and then toggle. I already made one important change. I made the initial theme dark. So that was a pretty important change. Anyway, so we've got set true, set false, and toggle. That sounds like another Boolean adapter. So, so we want the actual store. So, is light theme equals adapt. I didn't npm install. Hang on. Actually, what I need to do is restart the TypeScript server. So that sometimes happens. Okay, so we've got is light theme? Sure. Hey, yeah, look at that. Good suggestion. Good import suggestion. And there we go. So we got is light theme. So now this, so I'm going to get rid of this. And that is no longer needed. Boolean adapter. That's actually what I need to do is have that be the second argument and have this be initial state. I guess it was assuming the initial state was the adapter itself, which is kind of crazy. So I'm going to say false. It's not light theme at first. Okay, so that's that. And this is just going to be a good old subscription. So, yeah. But it's going to have the same life cycle as this component. And since it's tied to a component, I'm going to use a simple hack just for the syntax. ng container ng if equals let's see. What do we call this? This is not great. This is kind of imperative, but it's just syntactic convenience for now. It's like hold, but it's just to manage a subscription. That's all it is. It's making the async pipe manage a subscription in the template. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say toggle theme equals. Ooh, that's not the best suggestion. Light theme dot state dot pipe tap. Don't need the parentheses, but anyway, so I'll just be doing this. Okay. And yeah, so there you go. So that's how we can do that. Inject document. Oh, for that. Okay, interesting. So set check no longer necessary. You can just directly do that. Okay, so now is light theme dot set false. What happened to autocomplete? That's kind of weird. So there's that. Is light theme set false. So wait, yes. And this one will just be set true. Set true. And this will be toggle. Toggle. Okay, this will be is light theme dot state. And that's it. That should work now. So that's no longer needed. Tap was needed apparently. So I don't know. I probably didn't really change the lines of code. What is going on here? Oh, I didn't plug in the, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we need toggle theme. I have an idea for how to improve StateAdapt's handling of side effects. The whole DOM is a side effect. But anyway. Okay, what's going on here? Did I get any errors here? Still didn't figure out the bug, but I renamed this to apply theme to document. It's a lot more descriptive. Describes exactly what it does. So yeah, ugly. This isn't appearing in the DOM. It is appearing in the DOM somewhere, but sort of like that dialogue component I created a couple videos ago, maybe like 5 videos or 10 videos ago at this point. But yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out what this error is. This is like a really weird error. Static module build failed. Support for experimental syntax class static block is currently disabled. Weird. So I think it was an npm problem actually, because last time I was working on this, I was doing I think it was Angular 14, and I think it got upgraded to Angular 15. So I just have to get rid of this, and then it should be good again. Yeah, it's building. Okay. All right. Now, how is it? Is light theme? There it is. Toggle. I toggled it. Now, that's kind of backwards, isn't it? Anyway. Yeah, set false. Toggle. Set true. Toggle again. Perfect. All right, that's working. Cool. Okay. Let's, I guess, look at the statistics. And we don't need to do stats yet. So, all right. So we just have, before it was 79, now it's 77. So barely different. Okay. That's fine. It's in Redux DevTools now, so that's something. Okay. Now, next feature. Okay, let's do this one. This is a service. It's an injectable provided in root, so it has an eternal lifecycle. And it's got a bunch of observables. And what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to see where it's used. It looks like here, you're able to just get a snapshot of the state. I think. Yeah. That's maybe convenient for some things, but yeah, it's not an observable. I don't like this. This is auth effects. And there's a lot of stuff being controlled from here. Set item, remove item, set. Yeah, there's something about this I really don't like. Remove. You know what? This looks like a really fun feature to convert, but I want to do it all at once, the movie list page, because this is how I used to write Redux thunks back in the 6 years ago. when, before I discovered switch map, and there might be something specific about this that makes it more difficult to do reactively, but the thing that is interesting is right here, connect route params. No, hold. Route params, router fetch effect. So basically, we're fetching different movies depending on what this observable emits. That seems like it should be a switch map somewhere, but it's kind of complicated how it's all kind of connected together. So this might be worth creating a diagram in RxAngular, that thing, and really analyzing the data flow here and trying to make it more reactive. There's a lot of observables here, but a lot of imperative methods being called too. So I think this would be a really fun one to convert, but I don't have time to do that right now, so I'm going to find a simpler one. Okay, I found a good one. This one's pretty simple. This is actually going to be really interesting to see exactly how this converts, because it's really simple. And yeah. Okay, so it's like in the middle of an observable from RxState above, and that's why I passed over it, because I didn't want to do something in the middle. I wanted to do something top level. But actually it's okay, because even after I convert it, it would be it'd be just taking in an observable anyway. So it's going to look kind of the same no matter what. So here's how I'm going to do this. So get rid of that. No RxState there. And import that. Yes. And it's going to be lists and initial state. Is there an initial state? I don't think so. Anyway, and then that and that. What's the deal with these? What's wrong? Oh, yeah, it's all because of that. I think. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's that. So actually this observable, what do I call it? Well, I could call it count lists. What's wrong with this? The overload requires 2. Yeah. Well, I think what it wants me to do is type this. I mean, I think I need to do this no matter what. What was that type at the beginning? TMDBA count list. Oh, this isn't a source. So I need to make this a source. So we got switch map here. To source. There we go. Hey, all right. And at the end of this, we just grab state. So, is that hideous? Yeah, it kind of is. And I bet it's more lines of code even. Let's see. 1 less. I don't really know how that's possible, but it doesn't look very good. And the reason is because this thing's big. But if you look at the API of adapt here, it takes in the path state and the initial state. And then this is an observable that will set the state that's here. And then you just grab it from the store that gets created. So that's all just one single thing that can happen. Alternatively, you could take this observable out and name it account list source or something like that and plug it in here. But anyway, so 2 extra pieces of information are provided here. One is the source type, the action type, and the other is lists, the state path. So if we go up here and look at Redux DevTools, my lists. Yeah, that's where it came from. There's the payload. And the diff is, it just adds it to lists. So far we have app shell is light theme logged in, and now lists. We could change that if we want. We could just do like user.lists. And there it is, user.lists. So really, like, this path is a debug tool. And it's pretty easy to see if it is going to collide with another state, but it'll give you an error if it does. So it's pretty convenient. But anyway, so I'm just going to call this, what do they call it up here? My lists. I'm going to call it user lists. And leave it at that. There we go. All right. And yeah, it's used the same as before because that's the observable of the movies. So, okay. So one thing I'm thinking of is maybe in RxState, it's easier to adapt this to more complexity. But, you know, like, you could just add an extra store with its own thing. You can namespace it so they're both underneath user if you want. So it's flexible like that. You can add them separately. And then if you need something to change both of them, you can also make this an object and pass that one into set, and then pass a different reaction into a different source into a different reaction. You can also make this an array, have multiple, cause the set reaction. But anyway, so I'm pretty happy with this. But yeah, actually, that I wasn't expecting that to be less code. I think this super call is the most annoying thing to me because it feels boilerplatey. But I don't like object-oriented programming. So anyway, so I think this is fine. Yeah, I think it's flexible enough. Syntax-wise, I mean, it's just like connect. You know, you just have to know what the second argument's going to be. It's got to be an observable that sets the state. So yeah, I don't think it's too difficult to understand. You just have to know how to call adapt. And I've got it right here. Overloads. Path initial state adapter, path initial state sources. That's the one we're using. Got path initial state for sure. It's one of these. It's definitely not adapter. It's sources. And sources is one of these things. A single source for a set state change. It can be an array or it can be an object for many. And then I've got examples for each. Yeah. So, I think I'm going to do a React project next, and then I'll come back to this again. But for now, I want to test the React API more. So overall, how did this go? We went from 27 to 26. And 79 to 77. It's basically the same. So no big difference, but it's in Redux DevTools, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, I think it's a little more reactive. Not that one. The other one. This one. You know, without the... it's not really more reactive. It's just kind of different. Maybe it is. I don't know. This isn't really interesting enough to really analyze that deeply. So anyway, so that was just a video getting back into the RxAngular project, the movies project. And now I'm going to go find a React and Redux project to experiment with. So, all right. Thanks for watching and see you later.